Welcome back, investigators, to another episode of The Psychic Detective, where we tap into true crime and high-profile cases. And in today's case, we are going to be tapping into the energy of Angie Stone. This is relatively fresh, and I'm actually excited to tap into this energy. I've already got my notes. I wrote down everything. I wrote down my questions. We're going to start things differently, okay? Usually I start off with my Psychic Detective cards here, but I think I'm going to wait to last to do that, all right, because I want to start off with positive energy, uplifting energy. She doesn't want me to talk about the negative things about her life and her contracts and stuff like that. She'd rather bring enlightenment into this, okay? So let's go ahead and tap in. So the first question that I asked in this particular reading is, what is Angie's message, okay? And what's her message to her fans, to her family, to her friends, and specifically her husband? I'm not sure if she's still married or if he's still alive, or I don't know if she has any sons or daughters, but she definitely wants to get the message out that she is all right. So the first card we're going to be tapping into is going to be the Six of Coins, which is going to be the Six of Pentacles. But I want to let you guys know the channel songs that I got as I was getting ready for this read. The first song I have, and I have three, is No More Rain, Brother, and Wish I Didn't Miss You. Now, in regards to the Six of Coins, what I got is that, it's always about reciprocity. Make sure you are, being a kind person. Make sure you're always giving back. What's another thing that I wrote? I felt that Angie was a very generous person. I don't know if she had any, businesses, okay, in regards to anything with maybe wigs or fashion or something like that, or food or restaurant. But I also feel that maybe she had some type of nonprofit, or she always gave to charity, or she was about giving back, okay? Like I said, it's about working together, loving one another, loving on one another. And she possibly has made some donations to some charities. And then the next card we go on is going to be the Four of Wands. And I found out that she is actually a Sagittarius, so that makes her a fire sign. But there's a few more things that I forgot to mention when I was channeling her energy. She told me, I wrote down, is that she loved music. Music was her soul. And then she also sent me the image of the movie What's Love Got to Do With It? When Tina Turner, at the beginning of the movie, she was a little girl and she was singing in church. So I feel like maybe Angie Stone, she has always sang since she was a child, even in the church. And then the last card that we have in this row is going to be the Two of Knives, which is going to be the Two of Swords. And I do get that Angie, when she did get into, that accident, she did make the decision to go ahead and allow herself to go, okay? Because she knew that it was her time. She knew that life isn't forever, is kind of what I'm getting with that. So she made that decision to pass on, which leads me into the next cards. It's also about making decisions, okay? Because we got the Two of Swords, which is about making decisions. And what I wrote next is, what other message do you have for your fans specifically, or your husband or your family? And she mentioned her son. She kept mentioning her son, if she has a son, and her husband. But what she wrote is it's okay to decide, okay, with the Two of Swords, to move on, okay? A lot of people that loved her family members, her husband, if he's still alive, her fans are having a hard time letting go, okay? They're grieving. But what she wants you to do is, go through the grieving process, go through the healing process, and it's okay for you to move on, okay? Because this isn't goodbye. This is just see you later. But there was a few more messages that I got with the Six of Swords from Angie, and it was kind of a demand, but I'm going to let you know what it is. She said to not mourn her and to celebrate her. And she also said, at her funeral, to make sure that she looks good. And another thing that she mentioned or requested is that she wanted to make sure that her music was either played before or after service. And the last thing about the Six of Swords is that she wanted to tell her fans, her family members, her husband, okay, her children, whoever, people that loved her, is to move on and continue to prosper. Because like I said earlier, this isn't goodbye. This is just see you later. It was actually a few things that I got with this card. And I guess the last thing that I'm going to say about the Six of Knives is that during the accident, even though it was an automobile accident, she actually had a quick passing, is what I'm getting with that. And that leads me into this next card, which is going to be the High Priestess. And I know this video is already getting kind of long, so I will have to make probably a part 2. But what I got with this High Priestess is that she was very connected spiritually. She was very aware of the other side before she crossed over. And I also got she was aware of the afterlife and the unknown. And I also got mysticism as well. She was connected to her angels, her ancestors, God, most importantly. All right. And she was connected to her spirit team. But she did also say that she is going to use this spiritual connection to connect with her husband or communicate with him. And she's going to be talking to him often. She's going to be communicating with her family members as well. Okay, she's going to learn how to manipulate things or how to move things. And then the last card that we have before we tap into the other cards, we have the Hermit card. So somebody could be a Virgo, doesn't necessarily have to be. But what I'm getting for the message for the collective, her fans, her family, her husband, her friends, all of that is saying that do not go into isolation. Like I said, some of her loved ones or people who cared about her a lot are having a hard time with this passing. But she said, don't keep yourself isolated and allow yourself to heal. And then the last message to her husband is that if he ever does get, like, I'm not sure if he's alive, so I probably should have checked that out. But if he ever does get into another relationship or a marriage, she will be there, okay? They will sense her energy, okay? And she said, please believe that. So that kind of wraps up. Oh, she also said that this is her soulmates also, okay? And she's also sending, like I said, love to her son. Like I said, I don't know if she has a biological son or if she has somebody that she felt like it was a son. So that's going to wrap things up for this video because it's already gotten pretty long. So join me for video 2 as we tap into this other deck of cards, which is going to be the angel numbers, about what angel numbers Angie wants to let us know about. And then lastly, we'll go into the psychic detective cards here. So join me for part 2 as we go deeper.